All right, folks, welcome to the first episode of The Game, where we take hip hop very seriously and talk about hip hop and analyze it, not just in the U.S. or in South Africa, where my friend Hellburnt is, but all over the Black diaspora. Today, we're going to focus on drill music. My friend Hellburnt, what part of South Africa are you in?
I'm in Johannesburg.
He's in Johannesburg, yeah. So I played some music for him by King Von in drill music. So we're going to address some of his criticisms. And it's the usual criticism that we see for drill music, and especially for King Von, who's a very controversial person. He lived a violent life, died violently, and through his music, he glorified violence that you see in the hood. We're going to take a look at a song that he has called Oh. And I'm going to hand over to Hellburn, but three criticisms that Hellburn had is that he doesn't see the music, especially the music that you find in drill and in King Von. He doesn't find it imaginative or creative. That's the first attack that he has on the music. The second view he has is that it's sort of childlike, punchy one-liners, which I agree with, and it's not very sophisticated rhythmically. The last part that he has against it is that it glorifies violence and it's not uplifting. What I'm going to argue is that King Von is a realist. He's an artist, and he's functioning where he came from, or he was an artist. Where he came from, he was functioning with music ritualistically, which is what you find with any Black musical tradition. It goes all the way back to Africa, where music is ritualistic, and it does have a sort of spiritual as well as functional goal for the community. So what you're looking at with King Von is that the community where he comes from, what you're listening to, what you're hearing, even with the one-liners and even with the rhythm, is all intended to serve a certain function within the society and within the group of people that he's with. And you can't analyze it from the perspective that we usually analyze Western art, where you're looking for creativity, for an escape from reality, where you're looking for a high moral standard in the content. What he's doing is he's actually creating what I call trance music, which takes reality and it doesn't reimagine it, but it transfigures it rhythmically into a trance, which connects everybody who's listening to the music and who's participating into the music at a deeper level to go through what they're going through and find whatever transformation they can find. He comes from an area and in Chicago, where you have up to 1,000 murders a year, where most Black young male, the only way they're going to make a living is through gangs, and where gangs are their family. So it's a cynical world. So when you listen to the music, it's going to have a lot of aggression. It's going to have a lot of charged energy, a dark atmospheric beat, and it's not going to be very uplifting. I would argue that you could find some upliftment in it, but it's going to be upliftment for people who are in a hopeless situation. So it's trance music for hopelessness. And if you look at his lyrics closely, he has irony, humor in it. And even as he's talking about the dark exploits he does and the violence, you can see that he's not saying that it's okay. He's just saying it is what it is. That's why when he said, I took this girl to the O, and it ends up violent, he said, that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. If someone living in Palestine is getting bombed, they say, oh, I saw my mom got blown up yesterday. The other day I was still at a party. This is how it goes. There's no escape for reality. When you listen to the old Negro spirituals, when Black people were slaves, they can't paint a pretty picture for you. They'll tell you this is how it goes. But their music brings what I call transfiguration. Transfiguration doesn't escape reality. It alters it through the music, puts it through a trance, and gives it a collective vibe for the people. So we'll start with that. Hellburn, I know I had a long speech. Give us your thoughts on the music, and specifically address the things you mentioned to me, where you say the music is not creative. It has a childlike one-punch rhythm with one-liners, and it doesn't uplift people. So start with one of those. Let's start with the creativity.
Let's start with one first, then we move to the other second, like that, so that we really get in touch with what you're talking about, right?
It's not just going one verse to one verse. You made a statement. So the first claim. I'm going to go back. The first claim you made was that it's not uplifting. And
yes, let's start with that.
Okay, and I'm not going to argue with you about that. Okay, but go ahead. Yeah.
Coming from a history where we're coming from as a Black people, right?
Yeah.
We have faced like a lot of stuff like that are demoralizing stuff that is actually squashing down our spiritual part of us, right?
Yeah.
So music was used before as a way of uplifting people to certain points. If you want to get people into war, you chant those war songs so that people feel that spirit that you know what, now we're going to war, right? If, like for an example, spiritual people, they sing their spiritual songs to uplift their spirits to reach their higher forces, whatever the thing be. So now, with King Von, he circulates around what I call negative stuff that are happening around black people in general, right? So I don't see much light in his music. I don't see so much light in his music. I don't have that thing like even when he breaks about the accumulations that he has, like money, cars, whatever the stuff.
Yeah.
He doesn't give me that perception that I want to also attain those things. Instead of let me say giving me that spirit that you know what, wake up, nigga, like go get yours. I actually feel like it's more bragging than it's actually trying to let people know that you can make it out of the wood. You understand?
Well, if you listen to the music, you go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you listen to what he's saying, like he's actually giving a warning about what happens. He's acknowledging that what he's doing is dangerous and is destructive. He's also bragging, but he's also showing people that the consequences are dead. Now, you remember, King Von is trapped. His father was a drug dealer and was killed. He lives in an area, in a country where he was brought as a slave. No jobs.
Yeah.
The government is even more gangster than the gangsters in the hood. He sees a country which killed slaves, which killed Native Americans. This is the same country which is attacking Iran. There is no light. And this goes to the argument that some philosophers have, especially Afro-pessimists, where they say that the black body is dead. I'm going to argue that the black body in America is dead. We've lost our languages. We've lost our connections to our rights and everything. And our kids who live in the hood, the only way they can take care of their families is through violence. And for some of them, they can break out. They've done studies. Once you're 6 years old, 7 years old, 8 years old, if you were abused, raped, your parents were killers and they beat you, the chances of you getting out are low because you're mentally ill and you have pathology. King Von was mentally ill. So what I'm saying is that he was making the most out of a situation that is absolutely hopeless for him. And we could even argue that maybe it's wrong to make music that doesn't uplift, but my argument is that is his reality and he's being authentic. He may not, you can judge him morally, but as an artist, he's being authentic because he's taking the elements of his neighborhood and everything, and he's creating art out of it. And you listen to the art, he uses call and response. I took it to the whole, you listen to a lot of repetitive echoes in his music, which functions as drums also to fill the space where you don't have melody. And he even has irony. He said, I was supposed to take this girl to go get a blowjob, and then it got into some beef and things. And at the end, he says, that's just how it goes. That's irony. He's telling you what happened. His job as an artist is not to create an imaginary world. It's not to create the solution that you want to see or that I want to see, especially since we don't take actions to make those neighborhoods better. I don't see Black people anywhere in the world working together collectively and economically. So if this is how it's going to be, let's tell the truth. If you're a kid growing up in Palestine and you see you're getting your brains blown out by Israel and nobody's doing anything about it, why should we expect you to create light? He's not creating light, but he's creating art. And it's no longer just, let's kill people, let me get sex. He's doing it in a playful, atmospheric way, but it's charged with a lot of energy. And one thing you can say about King Von, he's very good lyrically, but he may not be a Nas or anybody, but his voice is like Tupac. It's very charged, emotional, and theatrical, and he paints a picture and tells a very good story. And his rhythmic flow is very good in that he's matching the drums with his delivery and clipping his words to match it. So he's talented. So I agree with you. There's no light in his music, but so if you want to listen to music where there's light, go listen to Common or someone else. What are your thoughts?
No, I don't dismiss his authenticity, right? He's very original. He's doing whatever that he's doing. I respect his style for whatever that is doing because he's true to it. That's the light that depends about where he comes from, where he's surviving in, whatever that happened in his life. That is genuine stuff, right? He
Yeah.
grew up in a street where survival was mostly based upon like a dog is a dog world. That's how it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
for him, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I don't argue his legitimate like art. His art is legitimate. It's what he sees, it's what he experiences. But what I'm saying is that there's no uplifting from that. He can't see further than what he's actually living. You understand?
Yeah.
It's like for
And
me
I'll
when
agree
you
with you.
say
I'll agree
if
with
you're
you.
starving today, if you're
Yeah.
starving today, right? Uh, you don't have that capacity to think what can you do tomorrow to better your situation. You're just telling yourself that I'm starving right now. I'm starving. I'm starving. I'm starving. Yes, you are starving. I don't disagree. But what is the solution for your starvation?
Yeah, but so I
What?
agree with you. So here's the thing. Black crime in
Yeah,
America, same thing in South Africa, it's pathological. Even if you're not starving, once you have PTSD, once you've seen your mother get raped or you've been raped, you now have coded behavior within you that's hard to break out. And what King Von is doing, he's showing us a true look into what's going on in Black America, not just Black America, the whole world. The whole world is a negative space. There's no light. It doesn't
yeah,
seem like there's any light. So I'll agree with you. There's
yeah.
no light in his music, but that's my problem. That's not his. You understand? It's my problem. You see the point I'm trying to make.
Eh, eh,
It's
eh,
my problem. It's not his. It's
I
not his.
get you.
It's not his duty to bring light. But when you listen to the music, and here's where the music becomes transference. The music is war music. Drill music is literally war music for kids who have machine guns and go to battle. When you listen to that hype music, even if you're not a gangster and a criminal, you feel the vibe and it gives you a combative attitude. Now, what I do is I take that combative attitude and I use it every day when I go out and do things. That music is
Right.
hype. It has high energy and hype. You get what I'm saying? Even though it's negative, it has high energy and it has hype and it actually motivates me. So to me, that's where I would take the light from it. What do you think about that? And also, it makes me proud
Yeah,
to see young guys who actually are creating music. The sound, forget about the
yeah.
lyrics. The sound is very atmospheric
Hence,
and creative. Yeah. Good.
hence I say that I won't dismiss the part of originality in his music. That is originality. Yes, he is original. I respect that about him a lot. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, uplifting people, that is the music, that is not the kind of music that might uplift people. So there's no upliftment in his music.
I'll
It
agree.
is
I'll agree.
original, but
I'll agree. Can I ask you a question? Did you ever watch The Sopranos or The Wire?
the surprise,
Or The
the
Wire?
Italian movie or something,
Yeah.
is it?
Godfather. Does it uplift people? No.
Yeah,
Nobody complains.
I did watch it.
It's
Yeah,
gangsters
yeah,
killing each
yeah.
other. Nobody complains.
Yeah,
American movies where you see kills getting killed and soldiers. So my argument is that you're right. It's not uplifting, but that's nothing new. People watch pornography. What's uplifting about pornography? You get my point. I'm serious. All right. So let's go to the next thing. So the next thing you said was that he doesn't have imagination. I'll agree with you. Drill music is not the most imaginative music. Drill music functions a lot like West African um, traditional music, or even in South Africa where you have malupo and stuff. It's not meant to be
yeah,
creative.
yeah,
It's supposed to use rhythm and sound to create trance, and it's supposed to talk about reality and spirituality. So your psych and
yeah,
spirituality for King Von will be his psychological state. Reality will be the guns. In Malopo or in the type of music you hear with voodoo and Zulu, or not voodoo, probably Zulu too. They don't talk about things that are far out. They talk about everyday things, but what they do is
it is.
they manipulate the sound, manipulate the rhythm, and the poetic delivery to create a transferred state. So my argument is that you have different rappers who have very good imaginations, but that's not the function of drill music. And drill music is closer to the function of African music or Irish or folk music in other countries where it deals with everyday things, but it also deals with your spiritual engagement with it. What are your thoughts?
Uh, I would say that hip hop is broad, right?
Yeah.
You've got drill, got your conscious rap, you've got this and that. So hence we go into hip hop for certain aspects of it, right? Personally, I'm not into drill music,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
But I'm into hip hop music. So
Well, you're into some hip
let's
hop because you're not into drill. Drill is hip hop too. You're just not into that part of hip hop.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm saying hip hop has a lot of
Yeah.
aspects to it, right?
Yeah.
Like you got your conscious kids, like let's say for an example, you take Common. He's a conscious rapper from the underground. You've got
Yeah.
conscious kids from the commercial side. You've got Nas and stuff, right?
Yeah.
They're all conscious, but they are in two different lanes, right?
Yeah.
So you have your drills, you have your what you call your drill hop, you have
And
this
you have
and that.
trap. Trap,
Oh,
which is number one lately. Trap is number one around the globe.
yeah,
Yeah.
trap from yeah. So hip hop acts as an umbrella for all those categories, right?
Yeah.
So personally, I'm not into drill music,
Okay, and
right?
I agree with it.
So
Do you like
I,
Kwaito?
yeah,
Because
I
I hear
grew up on Kwaito, man.
South Africans look down on Kwaito.
I grew up on Kwaito, man.
I'm talking about real Kwaito, not what they play in America. Let me
Yes,
be. No, it's rhythmic.
it,
So to me, Kwaito is the same. Yeah. So to me, Kwaito music is the same thing as drill. Not the same type of music, but it's the same thing where people are using local idioms. They're fucking around with the rhythm in all kinds of ways. Have you seen that video of the guy that does the hat like Michael Jackson? That video that's gone viral in South Africa where the guy was dancing on the grass. You saw that shit, right? But the point I'm making is Kwaito is a South African rhythm. I mean, not just South African rhythm, from certain places in the township. So they understand that rhythm more than anyone, even with the way they rap, with the style of rapping that they do. So what I'm saying is that you won't like drill because you don't understand that community. I understand it because I'm African. My mother's African American, so I feel the hype. And when I hear the rhythm, rhythm is like like for example, in Kwaito, there's some rhythms that nobody will understand what it means unless they grew up in that culture. When I listen to drill, I hear some shit. I hear rhythm from back in the day. Like there's a guy called DJ Jim, who's the man with the master plan, the J, the I, the M, the A. These are rhythms that King Von is using, which came back from 1985. I'm sure in Kwaito there are rhythms that you have which go back before hip hop was even there. Do you see what I'm saying? And when I hear King Von, the rapping style that he has, that childlike, there's a woman called Roxanne Shante. She said, how does it go? She doesn't need a girl like me. She needs a girl like you with a high IQ, and she'll go for my rap because my rap's the best. When you hear that rhythm, now you hear King Von, you can hear variations of it. So that's why I'm saying, I'm not saying. So what I'm saying, you don't understand, you don't like King Von, but you're not part of the group of people. You're not part of that language. I'm not saying it as an insult. I'm just saying that that's the issue. And so
I just wanna send something for you about me growing up on Kwaito, like in Kwaito, right?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, the only music that was around me was mainly Kwaito. So I was influenced by Kwaito because of my environment. But when I grew up, I outgrew Kwaito. You understand?
Yeah.
When I started knowing what is what, so even up to today, I don't really like Kwaito that much because for me it's secular music.
Yeah, yeah.
I grew up, as a child, you grow up, you start like from your kindergarten, right? You reciting all the nursery rhymes. You think, yeah, this is the dopest thing. But when you grow up, you start realizing there's more that could have been said. Then you start changing to other genres. You grow up again. You start realizing there's far broader stuff that you can say. So I'm not dismissing drill as. Let me just not use.
So here's the thing. Let me break it down like this. Kwaito is a closed musical system. What I mean by it's closed is that it's not even the most imaginative, but it's a closed. Drill is a closed system too. And what I'm going to argue is that that's how African music is. It's closed systems. Okay. Now they have limits. Now one thing about Kwaito, though, Kwaito will now take beats from Brazil and from hip hop, and it's beginning to expand. Okay, drill is a very closed musical system. I like drill, but it's not my favorite. If my favorite rapper of all time is Steez. But one thing, but when I listen to drill, if I listen to it, oh yeah, this is nice, and then I forget about it. You understand what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
it's, drill is a very closed system and it's very functional. It's war music specifically for gangsters. And when people listen to it, they take drugs like people who aren't gangsters. They take it and they get hype and everything, but they're not really part of what those guys are going through. So I agree with you. It's a closed musical system,
Right.
but we have to realize look at Chicago. Juice World is from Chicago. Kanye West is from Chicago. Common is from Chicago. Who's the guy that wears the masks? Doom. He's from Chicago. No, he lived in Chicago.
Boom.
The Chicago music has all kinds of variations. But I promise you, Juice WRLD knows how to sing drill too. I promise you that King Von knows how to do boom bap hip hop. So when you're listening to King Von doing drill, that's just one element. Look at Simfe Donna. She can do jazz, but she can do traditional music. She can probably also do hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? Most musicians,
I understand.
most musicians, once you change the rhythm, they can go to the other style of music too. So when you hear King Von, you're only hearing one part of him. King Von probably grew up listening to Tupac, Biggie, and those guys, and he can rap like that. But what happened was those group of guys, they created a new music. Drill was a new music that was created, which expressed what was going on in the ghetto, which was pure violence. Even that's why they go, it's machine guns. So that's where the creativity
Yeah.
comes. But it's still a closed musical system, though. I agree with you. What are your last thoughts? We'll have to do a part 2 of this. This is good, though. Yeah. Yeah. You said you wanted to go to some lyrics, right? You wanted to go to some lyrics. Yeah, go ahead.
Say what?
You said you wanted to go lyric by lyric. We can do that for a few minutes.
Yeah, as I said, yeah, you can go line for line because now you started with your upliftment, like part of my criticism. We can go to the next one.
Okay, go
The
ahead.
next one, let's go to lyrics, right?
Yeah.
Lyrically, for me, as I said, is not that challenging for me, right? You outlined like
No, wait.
this.
Have you read the song? Here's the thing. He tells a story, right? And he starts off with the book. He
Yeah.
said the girl gave him top. Top means head, blowjob. He's using the metaphor top
Yeah,
for the head.
yeah,
Okay. He tells a linear story, and it's not lyricism for being fancy, but he told a coherent story. A lot of times in hip hop, people want to say something that sounds fancy, like Black Thought, but he's just telling you a story. And then he's adding a lot of wordplay and things like that, and puns and double meanings and things like that, and metaphor. It's like you said, and I'll end with it. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Drill is not as lyrically advanced as other forms of music because drill music is about the rhythm and the beat. This goes back to African music. In African music, when you have the poetry, it's just a few lines, but the people have to improvise on the melody and on the rhythm to bring out the meaning of the words. Because he keeps saying, I took her to the hoe, took her to the hoe. That's what she did. That's just what she did. They're doing call and response, they're doing rhythm, and they're doing sound. African music puts lyricism at a lower level than the sound, or it puts it at the same level as the rhythm and the sound. But when you have guys like Eminem or Tupac and Co., they now turn it into a literary form where the lyricism is more important than the beat and the sound, which I would argue is not the African perspective of music. What do you think? Go ahead.
Remember,
Same thing with mumble.
yeah.
The sound is more important because sound is what transforms.
Let's not even jump to mumble today because I got
Yeah, no, but mumble has been going around for a long time, even in jazz of Louis Armstrong.
Yeah,
That shit is valid. But go ahead. So you're saying that it's lyric. Sorry that I cut you. Your point is correct.
When it comes to drill music, right? What I've realized about drill music, especially let's take lyricism. For instance, drill music is more like your not your head go crazy kind of music. As you say, people listen to it mostly. They even resort to acting that way that is portrayed in the music. They end up taking drugs, they end up eating all crazy and stuff like that, right? Because drill is meant for you to just go with the moment. So you don't need to go deeper when it comes to lyricism.
Yeah.
You need to just go with the flow. So I would say lyricism in drill music is not as much of a point. The thing is, just get with the rhythm. Just listen to what the guy is saying, but don't pay much attention to what
No,
he's
but the
saying.
words hit hard.
Just
The words hit hard. The words went hard because he repeats what he says in variation. So the words charge you to. That's just how it go. That's what I said. They'll say something else. So you actually listen to the words, but the word is also working like a drum. So the words charge
yes,
you more.
thank you.
The word-
Exactly my point. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the words actually become part of the beat. They become an
And that-
instrument on their own. Right?
That's African music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you heard that song by Zim? Have you heard that song by Zim Makwanda? Not a Buffalo. The other, you've heard of Buffalo, the South African song, and then the other one, Kubi
from Limited.
Kubi, the Zim, the jazz guy.
No, unfortunately, I haven't.
There's a song called Buffalo. This madness in South African music. When they start using the lyric and the words, they start changing it so it becomes sound also, especially in Malombo music. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, go back to your point though. I'm going to get the lyrics for this song. Oh, you like
okay.
Yeah.
I think this light is reflecting too much on my screen.
Oh no, don't worry about it.
Okay. What I'm saying is, drill music, especially when I talk about King Von, right?
Yeah.
He constantly repeats some words, and some words are used as an element of the beat, right?
Yeah.
So that on its own, because if you have to cater for the beat in that sense, which means you can venture out from the normal, the kicks and the snares. Now you are in a confined space where you have to cater for the beat. So lyricism can be possible in that sense. So that's why King Von uses like one-liners, so that he can actually make the sound of the beat right. Hence, I say for me, King Von actually is good when it comes to what he's doing. The drill music, he is good. He is good. I won't dismiss that. He's a good artist.
Yeah.
But his chosen weapon, or let me say his genre that he chose, doesn't allow him to be lyrical.
Yeah.
Understand my point? Doesn't give him that space to be lyrical.
His lyricism is still coming out because he uses slant rhymes, and that's not lyric, but he rhymes very well, and also he uses double entendres and puns. And if you look at the form of it, you can see that he's actually writing sonnets, but he's chopping them up into the circular rhythm. He's writing sonnets. So that's why I say he's a literary rapper. But you have to remember that King Von was a drug dealer. His dad was a drug dealer. His dad was an assassin. He was an assassin, so he didn't know any other world. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Last thoughts, yeah.
I wouldn't argue with his penmanship. I wouldn't argue with him because I haven't heard anything that he did outside the drill music. Understand?
Yeah.
What I know from him, all the stuff that I've got, the category that you gave me, it's all drill music from what it means to be a king, Grandson Volume 1, Grandson Volume 2. I think I listened to like 5 or 6 albums from him, right?
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything that ventures outside the drill music that he does.
Yeah, you have to go to his mixtapes. I'll send you some stuff. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay, maybe you might just alter my point.
Let me give you an example. You know, like Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD started singing music that sounds like rock music. But Juice WRLD used to do hardcore hip-hop. Then he moved to emo rap. You know, that sounds like rock music. That's why I say these guys are very versatile. But I see what you're saying. So, yeah, we're about to head out. It's almost we've been almost doing a show for an hour. What are your last thoughts? But we'll continue. This has been a good show, actually. Go ahead.
Okay. My last thought about King Von as an artist. Corporate wise, he's a very good artist.
Yeah.
He is that kind of an artist that you would like to listen to in a club. He's the kind of an artist that you would like to listen to when you're chilling with homies in the park. You understand?
Yeah.
He is good on that element. He's a good artist with what he's doing. But personally for me, nah, it's a no for me.
Yeah.
Let me just ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you play King Von in front of your daughter?
I play it in front of my son. You know why? I don't hide anything from my
No,
son.
no, no, no,
My daughter, I'll play it in front of her too. You know why? I'll play it in front of her too. You know why? Because she's listening to it anyway.
Why?
She's listening to it anyway. Our daughters. I don't have a daughter. Here's what I wouldn't play it in front of her. If I'm in the car and I'm listening to it, if I'm in the car, I won't change the channel.
Why?
You know why? I won't change the channel.
Why don't you do
know
that?
why? Because my daughter is not doing what she's not doing what's in the music. Do you know how many white people listen to King Von, then during the day they go to work and they live normal lives? Because human beings can suspend. They know how to suspend reality. They know how to suspend reality. And some psychologists said that we even need to look at art, look at bad things in art, because if you don't look at the bad thing in the art, you'll do it in real life because the devil is inside of you. So you have to find an outlet for the devil. Music is safer than her going and doing drugs. I won't do drugs in front of my daughter. But if there's a music, took her to the suck the dick, you think she's not doing that when I'm not around anyway? I'm serious. This is human life. It's human life.
She might be doing that. I don't disagree with that. But now, when you
and also the music won't reinforce it because the music is a result of the society. The society creates the music. The music doesn't create the society. That's what I argue. People were doing drugs and killing each other in America. That's why they made music about it. So if you want to stop that type of bad music, here's my last argument. If you want to see drill disappear, instead of spending $1.5 trillion to go to war with Iran, spend $1.5 trillion to put it in all the black neighborhoods and white neighborhoods in our country so that people have jobs, so there's no violence, so that people have opportunities. If you do that, drill music will disappear. You see what I'm trying to say? We have a country. In America, we glorify gangsters. Al Capone, Tony Soprano, The Godfather, Donald Trump, gangster. Okay, we bomb children in Iran. So what do you expect children in the ghetto to do? In America, there's 300 million guns. And then why are you surprised when there's drill music? So my argument is the art isn't the problem, it's the society. But that's why we need to have conscious rappers like Steez and philosophers and politicians. But the whole community has to come together because until we come together, that type of music, for example, the US is bombing Iran. Palestine, people are getting killed. In 10 years, you'll see children from Palestine who are creating drill music and become terrorists because of what America did. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that America creates gangsters. America creates darkness. Yeah. America creates lack of hope. You know, South Africa, what the Africans did there. They're the ones who created the violence in South Africa. Then they tell us, Aish, you guys are too violent. No. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Take us out. So last thoughts, and then you can take our show. Take us out. You guys, you've been watching The Game, where we take hip hop very seriously, or as NWA says, as serious as cancer. Last time. I got a question. As serious as cancer. What? Go ahead. Do you remember that line? Remember that line? Yeah, that's where we are. Take us out. Take us out. Shout out to your fans in South Africa too.
Shout out. This is LB down in South Africa, representing everybody around the world who's black like me.
Alright.
So this is me and my guy Mustafa. We just talking stuff that
what name do you go by on our show? Hellburn?
The name is LB, the Dark Prophet. You can call me the Dark Prophet.
Yeah, my name I'm Mustafa Janadu, the Mad Hatter. The Mad Hatter.
The Mad Hatter.
The Mad Hatter, yeah. All right.
So shout out to everybody.
We'll do this every 2 weeks or so. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, 2 weeks. Okay.
And I'll send you the video. How can I send it to you? Because I record it on my phone, so I don't have the data to send it to you.
You know what I can do? Just send me that pick that you want, right?
Okay.
For the intro, then choose a song of your choosing. Then we can edit. Then I'll send it to you via WhatsApp. I'll just make that intro. Then you can compile it.
I'll send it tomorrow, but I'm gonna post it now on Facebook stories. You can see it in a minute. The raw version. The raw version. You're gonna see it, right? Huh?
Peace.
Nice show.
All right.
Hold on. Stay on top. I'm going to cut off recording. Then don't go off yet. Okay. Hold on. Okay.
Okay then.
hold on. I'm just gonna stop.